Top-up show time, bright and early. G'day, Glenn. G'day, Gord.
G'day, Mike. G'day, everybody. G'day, Gordo.
Morning, guys.
Very impressed with my line yesterday. Scratchings, 46, got 43.
Yeah, well, I was
very
sitting
good.
when they were 39 plus the emergencies. I thought you'd said 40, and I went back to check, but
I think I said 46.
you said 46, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
We might get a few more during the day as well, too.
Yeah, I might get there.
Yeah, I think you might get there.
I don't know if you're allowed to scratch, but there's just with how bad it could be.
Yeah, well, at the moment, we haven't got as much as we thought, Mark. So
No. Rosehill basically missed it, but there's some angry-looking, stuff on the radar that's just moved through. I don't know whether there's another one.
Are they steward clouds?
Steward clouds. Nonetheless, there's no scratchings in the $7.5 million race, but plenty of scratchings in the $1 million race. So that set the line as well, hasn't it?
I was only thinking this morning, guys, that the Golden Eagle is worth more to the participants than the Everest.
Yeah.
yes,
The Everest, it's $7.5 million. Chop it down, $7.5 million. You lose $750 to the trainer, $375 to the jockeys. Now down to $6.4 million. You go halves with someone else, and then they give money to fucking everyone in the stable. That's 3.2, and then you got. And if you're a slot holder, you pay 1.8 for 3 years. Wow.
and
The Golden Eagle is the go-to event.
Yes,
as
and
far as collecting dollars.
Funded by the odds and evens.
yeah, which is I'd like to thank Odds, Evens, and Split for donating $56 to the $7.5 million prize pool.
So it's just, where is the money coming from?
Where's the money coming from?
Interesting. You talked about the prize money in the Golden Eagle versus the Everest. Our good man Dave Potter, he did write on YouTube yesterday after we spoke about. Well, I mentioned that Guitra may have been an afterthought, but he said, "Not sure you're right in that this race is an afterthought for Guitra any more than it is for any of the others. They were only going to get half the prize money in the Everest. In this race, there's a $750,000 bonus that they're running for, as well as a huge prize money."
If you run the Everest and then win another $750.
Yeah, I'm sure they went into the Everest with this race in the back of their minds. It was always going to be an easier race to win. That is the Everest. Quinella won't be there. He's sharp, Dave, isn't he? He doesn't miss a trick.
I still think it's an afterthought.
Dave Potter?
Yeah, but I mean, it's an interesting argument, isn't it, Gordon?
Yeah, definitely.
Which Dave was it?
Dave.
Dave Potter or Dave Diamond?
Dave Potter.
Yeah.
But Dave Diamond's very sharp as well. But
that's why I was confused.
Dave Potter's a bit more prolific. All right, well, let's have a quick run through of what's happened in this card. The highway horses are always keen to run, and as I mentioned, the Golden Eagle horses are happy to run, but the other races have been somewhat cut apart by scratchings. And if we go to the highway, the firmer is Gord's horse, Chocky Gaff, which was $21 when we did the show. $13 fixed at the moment. No indication of where it's going to settle there. Look at the matchings there on Monica's Star, which I thought was a very interesting runner, but couldn't see how they would be taking a necessarily short price with Louise Day going back to the tail. 5,000 match there early doors. Someone wants 1,500 on it at 5.4.
Wow.
Well,
if it wins the first race, I'll be losing.
Same.
The last meeting that we encountered these conditions was the day that Fender won the last. This True Rail, it sort of, one meeting it sort of plays off, and the other meeting it plays on. The last meeting where we went back into the True and got had a wet track with further rain, it played up the inside. That was the New King's Day, Gord.
Yeah.
So look out for that. I'm not promising
we
that.
We didn't talk about Shania on the show because we thought it was going to go to Goulburn.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
Okay.
It is Jay Collett, like, coming off a win on the bog. 1,000 to 1,200 problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Funny. It's been in a 1550 metre maiden at Canterbury when it was trained by David Joyce. Yeah. It is a highway. So let's move on to the second, which has been stripped. So where is the second here? Next. We've got Enchanted Heart is the favourite. Not a lot of action on the fair at the moment. I guess scratchings have done something.
That's an acceptable price for me, 7 and 11.
So they're the 2 3-year-old fillies. One of them coming home. Obvious step. Nicky's Fling out of the same race.
I mean, I'll be happy to take $7.
Well, what are you saying about this race at this point?
Yeah, I'm less keen to bet into it now. I've got Enchanted Heart on top, but it's getting pretty short in the market. My play in the race will be profit on Nicky's Fling and come out even on Enchanted Heart. That's what I'm thinking at the moment.
All right. Race 3. And yet again, badly cut about here. Goldfinch on a loose lead here, chased by Let It Pour and Willow Heart.
Every time you put this Betfair page up, my hand goes to my clicker to click on some bets. So I just go, oh, fuck. Anyway, sorry.
Not much action there either, Mark. Yeah?
No, it's an inscrutable race because, I want to say that Willow Heart and Let It Pour easily get to Goldfinch, and that sets the race up for the others. But I guess we wait and see. We'll have a good idea on the track by race.
It's an acceptable price to me, the wet tracker there, guys. $8 in.
New Einstein.
Yeah, but it is first up. And, Gord made the case that yesterday that she was dynamic first up last time, off a longer spell. Very unlucky in that 1,300-metre race she resumed in. But, of course, she was resuming with momentum. This time she's resuming without momentum. So, but the trials were okay, weren't they, Gord?
Yeah.
What are we up to? The race 4, 1,900-metre race. Yep.
He's done.
Arcana, obviously a key runner here, returning to the wettest track she's seen since her debut win, and 2,000 back to 1,900 after stepping up in distance last time. Navy Cross and Bobby D in the van here. I guess Navy Cross will lead Bobby D. Cut a deal. The intention is to be well forward, coming back in distance this week. Anything to add, Gord?
Oh, look, there's not much percentage there, but I clearly have Archana on top. But, kind of horse, I'm not sure whether I want to take that at 5-2 about.
Yeah, it's sort of screwed down a bit, Glenn.
Bits and pieces there, Mark. Bits and pieces. There'll be horses here I like that I won't be backing, and I'll just be odds orientated here and parade
rather than evens orientated or split orientated.
That's a
bad joke. It's a dad joke.
It's a dad joke.
Yeah. Race 5.
The best thing about it is I didn't get it, but anyway, that's right.
1,100. Here you go, Glenn. Mo's Crown, $8.50 into $5.50 there. That's an adjusted $8.50.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why all the other.
Well, again, the beauty of the previous show, we told everyone to back it yesterday afternoon. I said it, not Nelly start favourite, so it's obviously going to start second favourite.
Well, Macrua is still quite tight there, down in the sub $4 range.
Expected to start favourite, I suppose.
No great matchings there, but obviously Mo's Crown is the heaviest invested horse as far as Betfair is concerned. That's light. Everybody waiting because it is a wait and see day, isn't it, Gord?
Yeah, it is. So my primary results are going to be Mo's Crown and Mr. Mosaic, but the slight change there is I'm going to come out even on Macrura.
Okay, and what's the fresh think on Macrura?
Just could be the best horse, Mark. We haven't stamped it, so I don't want the lightly raced thing who might be the best horse down in the weights with Jay Collette on a wet track. I just don't want it to be a loser for me. Yeah,
you mentioned Najma in relation to this horse's trial yesterday, and of course, Najma is unraced. A bit difficult to get a guide on, on the Macrura trial. Also, Mara Eustace trials, I think that they're a little bit shifty in the trials as well. So, obviously, a race of interest. We get to the Rosehill Cup. Everyone's been waiting for the Rosehill Cup. Light on scratching is this one, and Nimmerly is the favourite, but She's Ideal is the mover, and she's approaching. Well, there's sort of three of them at the head of market there. Wurgok, which has the most matched, Nimmerly, and She's Ideal.
Pretty keen on Nimmerly, guys, and I think that's a really acceptable price, $5.50 if we get $5, $5.50.
Yeah, I noticed that O'Shea is starting his import here, Sound of Cannons, off a pretty short spell. What's that, an OTI horse, is it, those colours?
Yep.
And... yeah, look, I couldn't really get a line on its form, and the trial didn't tell you a lot. But it's interesting that he's elected to go here. Change of tactics on Morton's Fork to be more forward.
It's ho-hum, isn't it? It's ho-hum.
Oh, well, it is what it is. It's like it's only ho-hum. It's only ho-hum if you're losing. It's very, very exciting when you're winning, isn't it, Gord?
We'll be winning. Bracket, Nimali, she's ideal. One of them wins.
Okay. The 2IC race today is the SESS, and I'd forgotten about that bonus for competing in the Everest and this race, which has seen Guitra, Eduardo, and Hopbury on her backup. Guitra, the horse of interest there on the fair, and nothing like the $2. Well, it was $2.25 adjusted for scratchings, which is now $2.60 fixed, and welcome to mid threes on the fair at the moment. Star of the Seas, $17 into $11.
Well done there, Mark.
Well
spotted by you, though.
That would be a beauty, wouldn't it? Have you seen that? 1,600, 1,600, 2,000, 2 weeks later back to 1,300.
And beaten at 5-4 at the 2,000 when we got on the show the next day and said, it's the only horse, every time this horse goes around, you can only ever take $14 about it. Here it is today.
Mentioned on the show yesterday, Nigel's strong case for Mr. Seawolf. It's $20 is sitting there, so not an opinion not shared elsewhere. Gord, does this configuration of the field suit you better today with the scratchings?
Yes, it does. Hawbury on her maps in the perfect positions, option from barrier 9. By this stage of the day, we've stamped the track.
Does it suit you, the 3 stablemates? 3 of the horses in the race from the same stable, and yet Hawbury on hers, the only one who gets his hands on the 750?
And well, what do you mean? Like
you always say,
well, I mean,
Glenn makes the good point that Hawbury on hers got the big payday, and the 3 stablemates don't.
It gets close to the finish. I know which one will be winning.
I'm not going to get into,
Oh, you don't think of it
no,
like that,
it's not conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. It's like...
It's intent.
It's fuck, how good's this?
I thought the interesting one I got Hawbury on her on top and have marked it favourite, so it's going to be a bet for me. I thought the interesting one of the out wide ones that you mentioned, Mark, was actually Imaging, because had another look at that replay, where it came third against the good horses, a couple back where it was unlucky and didn't get the gap. I thought that was a good run for this kind of race.
In the George Main, All right, well, that would be a decent
I think it's a delicious little race, I've got to say that.
Yeah, and look, much more exciting than last year's race where Piarata just owned them. It was Piarata versus the B graders, wasn't it?
Any horses in this race, Gord, that can't win?
Yeah, it's a strange one for me, Glenn, because normally when I'm going to bet pretty decently in a race, normally I put the pen through most of the runners. And obviously I give Man a Piece no chance and I give Prime Candidate no chance.
It's funny you say that. I give Prime Candidate no chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Man a Piece just sucked along and it's a bog and held on. He's a strong wet tracker.
Yeah, it's a couple of levels down, but it's not
I know.
I know.
It's all about how leveling a surface is. It's hard to comprehend how much difference it can make, and intuitively going not possible.
I think a good bet there, Hawbury on her at $5.50.
Yeah,
especially with the extra $750,000. It's a lot of money to pick up. Wow.
All right, here's the. I can't get the whole thing. Can you see the whole screen there? Ice Bath is the
only one I can't see is 11 and 12s.
Yeah. So the Golden Eagle Fun Star is the favourite, 5,500 matched at this stage, 5,600 matched on Colette, which is right in there. So am I being stupid here? Are they just going crazy because it's
because of wet?
Yeah, but what does wet AJC Oaks and Adrian Knox mean in relation to this race? They're not relevant, are they?
It's too short, but also, the stable have said it's the one out of their 3. So.
Yeah, okay, good point, Gord. The stable has, but they forgot to tell PVL because he tipped a different set, didn't he?
I like how the stable says, well, who's the stable? What, James with his... He's just a young lad with a small opinion, and Dazzler just walks around like in Dazzlerland.
Yeah, I told you, Glenn. Glenn, you told me I'm not allowed to talk about it on shows anymore. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right. I'm just a bit tentative even just saying the last race that the Pease Hawkbury on her for the extra cash. I feel like I still think the other three have got good chances.
But the ice bath situation is interesting here. Owen mentioned that there's just been like it's been truckloaded. Remember the horse that Chris produced in the Metropolitan, was it last year or the year before, off a Wednesday win at Warwick Farm? Clearly not the target race, but all of a sudden just a different form line with a bit of pizzazz, which didn't work, didn't come off. Ice bath, like no one was talking Golden Eagle 8 days ago or 7 days ago.
Now it's second favourite.
Well, not quite, but it's
it's pretty close. Oh, okay, no.
It is one of those circumstances where the dots get joined up. Yeah,
I'd be very surprised if it won.
All right. Anything else to add there, Glenn? It's just a giant
there it
race.
Is. I think, get your dartboard without punters. And I mean, you made a great argument to put Reloaded in the quaddy for us yesterday. There it is at 85.
Yeah, it is one win. Reloaded, won at its first start and hasn't won since.
That's the one you mentioned to put in the quaddy, isn't it, Mark?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Anyway, look, exciting race, isn't it? We'll wait and see on that one. Sierra Sue, the intention is to be more forward from gate one there, and it's been a horse that's been targeted in the betting as well.
Normally you see fields like that in horses like in handicap races. You know what I mean? It's strange that it's
range, so. Well, look, it is a great. I have to say, putting on a major 4-year-old race at this stage of the season is a clever idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like the Everest has turned out to be a clever idea. We need to shut our gobs sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, I said it wouldn't work. Oh, look at that. There's a bit of interest for you, Mark. Unstar versus Colette. You'll have to bet into that market.
Yeah, I will.
Hey? You'll have to.
Indeed. And the last race doesn't really resemble the 18 runners that we were presented with at acceptance time because, of course, it doesn't have enough prize money, does it? 125,000. It's a bit of rubbish to run around with. Options galore. Surreal Step looks a horse of focus there. It's
super
solid,
yeah.
Obviously, the setup of the Golden Eagle lead up 100 meters, second up here, and Fender to perhaps accompany it in the lead. The cat looking to get a position, and we poo-pooed the rest of the field. So it is a bit of a sad race to finish off with, although never sad if you've worked it out. No action fixed odds, but do you want to say anything about this nightcap, Glenn? Other than
just another race, guys. I'm happy with our quaddy selections and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm so with Glenn there. I really do think they're the three chances.
They did pull out a lot of horses we didn't like, so that's always sad. But all right, that's Rosehill. That's a top up. Dave Dwyer is betting 110% today on the Golden Rose from 11 till 12. He's got odds boosts for anybody that's a client that use the code EAGLE20. And he's also giving 10% rebate back on losses between last Wednesday and tomorrow, refunded in bonus bets at the end of tomorrow. So that's another reason why you perhaps should have an account with Dave Dwyer. Also, he'll pay your rent sub if you've not opened an account with him before. Throw $500 in an account and he'll pay you up to $116 back.
I thought you said his rent. I thought he'd pay your rent. I was about to join him myself.
Well, it is rent. It's rent for rant, isn't it? And the best thing about a rant sub is it gets you access to the chat room, which will be awesome today.
It's quite simple with the offers that he's making. If you've got any idea, you're going to be profitable in your Dwyer account because you're betting into some positive value situations with those kind of promotions.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also got those 110% markets each meeting. At designated time, be it 11 a.m. or from 12 a.m. I mentioned the chat room. Of course, there's a ton of content that we put on every week. I'll stop sharing that Betfair screen. We don't need to look at that anymore. Videos galore. And, we've even got ranters that just, they're so keen, Gord, that they just give, hours and hours of their time to put together videos for Derby Day. We've now had a whole swag of Melbourne previews from those three legendary Melbourne aficionados, as Lewis and Tom Barwick.
The brilliant thing is the guys there, the professional punters in there, are that happy about the information they get from us, Soraya, and some other guys that post in there. They feel beholden to give their information in there as well. Like, what a magnificent situation is that, and all you semi-pro and amateur guys out there, you can really
just serious punters,
serious punters. Yeah, you can get some great information. It's sensational.
So you're mad not to be part of it. If you've never tried us, I can't believe you've never tried us, but you should. Free for 2 weeks, ton of content and access to that chat room. So we hope to see you soon if we've not seen you before. But meanwhile, we'll be back on Monday with a look at how it all unfolded. See you then.
Good luck.
See you guys.